How's everybody doing today? It is May 1st, 2021. Hope everybody's having a good day. First thing I want to start off and let everybody know that I tried to go live 2 nights ago at 8 p.m. like we all had planned, and yeah, it was locked out. As of this morning, though, I can go in and edit the spots that I wasn't able to edit 2 days ago, so I have my fingers crossed that I'll be able to go live tonight at 8 p.m. So if you can join us, try again at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight, okay? That'll be on the backup channel if you're not subscribed. Backup channel, ErikSeesAll 2, okay? Alright, let's get into this because this is just showing little by little how they're trending. You know, like all the stories that you and we've been talking about for years, right? When it comes to directed energy and stuff like that. We were a bunch of morons, right? We were a bunch of idiots, you know, conspiracy theorists, whatever you want to call us, right? When we talked about directed energy and how powerful it was, what they could do with it, right? And you started to see little teeny stories leaked here and there. And they talk about the stuff that had happened a little while ago with these types of so-called directed energy attacks, okay, that they were looking into. And so when those were leaked, you know, a year or so ago, I knew it would just continue to be slowly leaked into the media, slowly leaked into the mainstream, right, into the masses. But let's read this real quick, because now they're going to continue to push it even more, and I'm telling you, we know what they're using this for, and it is not good, no matter what it is. It says, U.S. investigating possible mysterious directed energy attack near the White House. Look at this. It says, the feds are investigating a pair of mysterious incidents in Washington, D.C., including one near the White House, that are similar to the attacks that sickened Americans in Cuba. It was revealed Thursday. That's what I was talking about, when those come out. It says, the incidents caused the government officials to fall ill with symptoms of the so-called Havana syndrome, which include unexplained neurological problems, these people reported. Now let's stop really quick, because I have a massive feeling about this, and I know a lot of you have too, that 57, F-I-V-E, you know, G, okay, will be tied into this, okay, right, with the directed energy, all of it tied in together, right? Well, how else would be an amazing way to make people feel the so-called symptoms of CV19, right? If you can get, the symptoms list is what? It's 100 things, right? Including no symptoms. So the list is so long that if they were to use something like this on anybody, they would be able to give them a symptom that most likely would line up with CV19 because the symptoms list are so long, right? And I just feel like they say they're investigating this, but I would think more that they are testing, right? Testing this. Let's go on. It says the more recent of the suspected attacks occurred in November when a National Security Council official became sick near the ellipse, the Oval Lawn of the White House. U.S. government sources told the outlet. It says the other episode involved a White House official becoming ill while walking her dog in Virginia's suburb just outside of Washington in 2019. It says the Pentagon and other agencies have launched investigations into the possible Havana syndrome attacks, though they haven't reached any conclusions on the matter yet. Of course they haven't reached any conclusions because they're just testing. They're not going to tell you. Think about this. If the Pentagon's really launching investigations into this before they know anything, right, why would they tell you? Why would they ever put that information out there, right? If they're seriously worried about this thing, if it's bad and if they're just doing what it is, you would never know about it. They would literally be investigating it without anyone knowing about it so that the ones that were doing it wouldn't know they were being looked at, right? You know, it's like them always coming out like with all the riots and stuff saying, oh, look at this group plans to attack on, you know, the FBI knows that they're going to make, you know, attacks on all these different states, you know, at these capitals. Why would you ever say that? You wouldn't, okay? It's all a big, you know, it's all a big show, right? It says, defense officials briefed U.S. lawmakers last week on the investigations and said it was possible Russia was responsible. See? Here we go. Got to put a narrative into the thing, right? And guess who else? Oh, while another former U.S. official said China could be behind the suspected attacks. Do you see how bad this is? This is just unbelievable, isn't it? Push a narrative. Push a narrative. Push the agenda. Russia, China. Oh, look at this. Could be behind it. We really need to go after them. Or we need to do this. Or we need to add a new law that allows us to investigate more privacy because they might be coming after us. But guess whose privacy loses? Yours and mine. Whatever little bit that we have left, they're slowly and methodically taking it away. All right? It says, Havana syndrome first popped up in 2016 when diplomatic intelligence personnel in Cuba began reporting concerning symptoms that appeared to start out of nowhere. Other personnel in China and Russia have also reported similar issues. Some symptoms associated with Havana syndrome include hearing strange noises, followed by dizziness, nausea, severe headaches, and memory loss. Let's stop right there. Does this not sound like Wi-Fi, right? I can't say too much, right? But the damage and what it causes, I can tell you right now that I literally lived directly across from a cell tower for probably 8 years, and we have been away from it now for almost a year, and I cannot explain to you how much better we have felt. The memory loss was unbelievable there. Short-term memory, you know what I mean? You just get these mental blocks that I never could ever, you never had before, and you couldn't get through them, okay? You know, like when you think of something and you're trying, you forget something, or you're trying to get to that, to remember it in your mind, you can kind of like go through like your day, figure out what, you know what I mean, and lead yourself back to what you're trying to remember. You couldn't do that. It was, my mom had it too, and it was actually painful. When you would start to overthink too much, trying to figure it out, you would actually get pains in the head, and you just had to stop. It was like hitting a brick wall, and you were not allowed to go through it. It's insane, and I'm sure a lot of you have had stuff like that happen. But I just think it's funny that these line up perfectly with what could be coming with 57, right? It says, though little is known about the strange episodes, a State Department-sponsored study suggests that they're likely a product of microwave energy attacks. Here we go, baby. We knew this was here. And, them coming out like this, like they don't know what's going on, and, no, this is the way to leak this into the mainstream. They do this all the time. Same thing they did with spraying above us, right? All those beautiful contrails that they were calling, right? They just leak it little by little, little by little. Oh, it's to help us. It's to prevent, the sun from heating up. Yeah. Bunch of lies. Says the Biden administration acknowledged that the U.S. is looking into the health episodes. The health and well-being of American public servants is a paramount priority for the Biden administration. Hold on a second. I gotta read that again. The health and well-being of American public servants? Well, I'll take that as sheep, right? Think about that. We're their servants. Yeah, it's just crazy. Yeah, it's paramount for them. Of course it is. Following their rules and staying in their line. It says, we take all reports of health incidents by our personnel extremely serious. Yeah. The White House is working closely with departments and agencies to address unexplained health incidents and to ensure the safety and the security of Americans serving around the world. Right? It's always for your own good, right? Always for your own good. Well, this is the guy that is in, this is the guy right here that is in power, that everybody is listening to in the United States. This is the one that was supposedly chosen to be put in there, which we know it wasn't. But there is no doubt this just shows where we are headed.
Looking for my mask. I'm in trouble. I'm so glad I finally found you. Yes, that one.
How ridiculous was that? Not only is he freaking out over his mask, he literally gets on there and says, I'm in trouble. You are the president of the United States, right? And you're in trouble? This shows so much more how we've always been saying that these puppet masters that are pulling the strings are so far up that you will never see them, okay? And you can just see we just got a bunch of talking heads, little puppets out there doing exactly what they want to do, blah, blah, blah. But, I just had to show that. It's just insane. It's just ridiculous, And then you have stuff like this. And this is coming out of the Post. This is tabloids almost. You know what I mean? So we're just taking the stories because I want you to see what they're pushing to the masses. This isn't me saying, oh, you better listen to what the New York Post says. Absolutely not. Most of the time, do the opposite to any mainstream media, right? But you need to see what they're trying to shove down the masses' throats. Look at this. It says Joe Rogan backpedals after telling young Americans not to get the jab. So it goes out and tells them not to. Now listen to what he says. Joe Rogan backpedaled Thursday on his claim that healthy young Americans don't need to get jabbed against CB19, insisting he's not an anti-vax person. See how I was telling you how they can turn on anybody, right? He doesn't want to lose all of his followers. He doesn't want to lose the government money that he's getting and all that. They'll shut him down. They'll censor him, right? Like they censor us because we won't do this. He goes back on it. Ridiculous. He says, on his popular podcast, Joe Rogan Experience, the 53-year-old comedian downplayed his own credibility after his comments sparked outrage on social media and a response from who else? Dr. F. It says, I'm not a doctor. I'm an effing moron. How nice, right? He says, I'm not a respected source of information, even for me, but I at least try to be honest about what I'm saying. Yeah, that part you might have been trying to be at the start if this wasn't just purely set up. But this also sets up for us, people like me that are making videos like this, people like you that are spreading information, because we go out and say what he said, that they don't need it, right? And then, so he does the same thing, and then what does he do? He calls himself this, right? So pretty much you can put that right to us, right? Because we're going out there saying it, but we're not retracting it. But we must just be a bunch of these things, right? Yeah, whatever. He says, he clarified the comments he made on his podcast last week, that young, healthy people don't need to worry about getting the shots. Didn't stem from a belief that jabs are dangerous. Here we go, ready? I'm not an anti-jab person, he said. I said I believe they're safe. Sick and disgusting. These people, any of them that are up in the mainstream, they will do anything they can to push this evil, to continue to get money into their pocket, to continue to take our rights away. It's really, really sick. Look at how they try. And listen to what they say right here, because this is the whole thing, how they've been telling, Eric, don't you care about your neighbors? Don't you care about your grandparents? Don't you care about this, care about that, right? Because you might get it, and you might be able to spread it and never know. That's what they push here. Listen, it says, my parents were jabbed. I just said that if you're a young, healthy person, that you don't need it. Says, he added that he was scheduled to get a Johnson & Johnson jab before it was put on pause by the feds earlier this month. Rogan also acknowledged claims by Fauci and the White House that his comments were incorrect, but stopped short of admitting he was wrong. He says, there's some legitimate science behind this. Their argument was you need it for other people, he said, but that's a different argument. That's a different conversation. There's some legitimate science. I just love that. Says on Wednesday, Dr. F slammed Rogan's comments that young, healthy people don't need a jab, calling the mentality wrong-headed and selfish. It says, you're talking about yourself in a vacuum, Dr. F said. If you want to only worry about yourself and not society, then that's okay. But you're saying to yourself, even if I get infected, I could do damage to somebody else, even if I have no symptoms at all. And that's the reason why you got to be careful and get jabbed. Pretty sick, right? Unbelievable. Look how perfect they've set this up, right? Even if I get infected, I could do damage to somebody, even if I have no symptoms at all. Everybody, it's so obvious the plan that they've done. It's getting really bad. They're pushing for the 12 to 15-year-olds. I actually am making another video on that. They're actually trying to skip FDA clearance, which is just insane. They're saying that they don't even need that they can jump that step and get these jabs out to the 12 to 15-year-olds. And then they won't stop at 12, everybody. We know it'll continue to go younger, and younger, right? And they're not going to stop this. Yesterday when I went over to my grandma's to help her out with, she got a new TV, and I was setting some things up for her. And, of course, she watches CNN. And so on it talks about they've had 100 million United States people 100% jabbed. And it's just, they're not going to stop. Everything you do, it doesn't matter what it is, it's going to the jab, It doesn't matter. It's insane. But we just need to continue to share this information because time's running out. Don't be scared, don't fear this, but time is running out to be able to save others and to get us in a better place, to get yourself set up in a better place. I just started building a greenhouse out at my grandma's because we now live about probably 10 miles from my grandma, the house that we now live in. And she has 20 acres. It's way back out, in the middle of nowhere. So we've been working out there, setting up some things, because it truly does feel the time is getting close. That's one thing good about my grandma being like on that side with CNN and the mainstream media, but she's not really. It's amazing. Like I said, I always tell you, before all this, she never trusted the government. Never. Not even a little bit, And now she, technically still she still believes this stuff because she was talking about India and how bad it is and 300,000 cases and blah, blah, blah. And I said, yeah, it might be bad over there. I just said, I'm telling you right now, it's not all from CV. It's all there is to it. This is all set up, and it's going to come full circle, trust me. Just because it's over there right now, it's going to come to every country that you live in. So, but it's just good that she's that way so I can continue to push against her, and it just helps me with everything else too, and we're making a difference. Trust me, I can tell I'm making a difference with her too. So, but it's cool because she's still willing to let me pretty much prep and set everything else out because she's just as You know, she thinks just as much as I do that things are going to go to crap no matter what, and there's no saving it. You know what I mean? So at least she still believes that, you know, that truth of it, that things are going to get to that point where we got to look out for ourselves, look out for our families, and look out for God, you know. So everybody stay safe, stay strong. Try to go live again tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the backup. Eric Sees All too. I love you all. Remember, no fear, no panic. Just protect your family, please. We'll talk to you soon. God bless.